Hey guys, how's it going? So this right here is going to be part 2 to 10 great movies you may not know about. And again, it's movies that maybe you've heard of and you've never seen them, or hell, maybe you've just never even heard of them. I don't know. So to recap from the first part of the video, the first part of the series, we did an action movie, Best of the Best, classical movie, Mask of the Red Death, comedy movie, Blazing Saddles, a fantasy movie, Legend, and a foreign movie, Tampopo. So, here we go, part 2, and a couple of these, well, at least the first 2 categories are extremely specific. So, the first one that I picked is it's my favorite Godzilla film. It is Godzilla Final Wars. Now, why is this my favorite Godzilla film? Because it's balls to the wall crazy. I mean, this shit is just going nuts. 9 times out of 10, when you see a Godzilla movie, the character that you see the least in the movie is Godzilla. Yeah, I know, that sounds like you're like, what? Why would that be? That's the way it is, because Godzilla doesn't talk, although in a couple of really retarded movies, he has spoken, yes, which, I mean, I think it was a telepathic thing, but it was like, why would you do that? Don't do that. That's just, no, that hurts. But, yeah, usually Godzilla is not the main focus. So you've got, let's say it's an hour and a half long movie, maybe 10 minutes of it is actually Godzilla. The rest of it is people talking. That's about it. They're just talking. They're trying to figure out, what do we do? Godzilla's here. Oh god, get more lasers. Get all the tanks out. Because that always works. Why the fuck don't they ever learn? No, so Godzilla Final Wars, this is a very different movie. This is really, really different. So what's going on in this movie is, I don't know, I think it's like an hour and a half long. This movie's from 2004. I believe it's like an hour and a half, maybe it's 2 hours long. And it's almost all the time just action. It's fantastic. I mean, if you like action, this is the movie for you. It's going crazy. What do you got? You got Godzilla and aliens. Yes, because when is it not aliens? It's always aliens. They come down and yeah, they're going to take over the planet. Why? Well, they kind of want to use us for food. Kind of. That's essentially what they're doing. And what they do is they mind control all of the monsters on the planet, except for Godzilla. Why do they not get to mind control Godzilla? Well, because in this movie, he was apparently, like, it shows a flashback in the very beginning, and he was frozen in a glacier in, like, I don't know, the South Pole, maybe the North Pole, I don't know. One of the poles, pick a pole. And they're both covered in ice. And, yeah, he's been frozen there. But all the other monsters, they're not. They're just kind of dicking around, doing whatever, they're doing what they're doing, What does Anguirus do on his day off? I don't know. Whatever it is, he does it. I don't know. Rodan, same thing. I don't know. So yeah, aliens come down, they're going to control all the monsters, and then what they do is they're going to make it so like, oh, well, we can make the monsters go away, so now you humans have to bow down to us and all this shit. And well, fine, except one monster does wake up because the humans are like, oh god, these aliens, they're kicking our asses with all these monsters. There's 25 friggin' monsters going all around the planet, and they're killing the hell out of everybody. And what do we do? And then Don Fry, that is the actor's name, he comes up with the brilliant idea of, let's unfreeze Godzilla. He'll kick the shit out of all the monsters. Funny enough, it works. Yes, it works. Godzilla goes into straight up Jason Voorhees mode, and he just kills the shit out of every monster he sees. He's seriously like a slasher in the slasher films. He's just like, here's you, you're dead. Here's you, you're dead. Here's you, you're dead. So on and so forth. He does this with like 10 monsters or something. This movie is awesome. This movie is fantastic. Lots of great Godzilla action. Unfortunately, the one thing that I hate about this movie is there's no Baragon. Baragon's my favorite monster. I love him. I love him more than I love Godzilla. No Baragon. But that's alright, because I got 400 other monsters in it, so you know what? I like Anguirus, and he's in it. And I like King Caesar, and he's in it too. So, yeah. Good movie. You should watch it. It's definitely interesting, and it's not like the rest of Godzilla movies. And moving on, now we're going to go into the second movie category that's extremely specific. This is my favorite Jim Henson movie. Okay, here we go. So this is from 1982. It is called The Dark Crystal. Some of you have heard of this, and hell, some of you have probably seen it, but not all of you have. So, what is the Dark Crystal? The Dark Crystal is exactly that. It is a giant dark crystal. It is a big purpley, blackish kind of color crystal. And what does it do? It does evil. I don't know. That's what it does. Because why? Shut up. I don't know. Everything really fully gets explained in the last, 3 minutes of the film. But let's talk about who the characters are, or at least we'll talk about the two main species. I don't know, or races, whatever you want to call it. You got on one side you got the Mystics, and on the other side you got the Skeksis. One is good, one is bad. With the name Skeksy, does that really sound like it would be a good guy? No, they're not the good guys. The Mystics are the good guys, and the Mystics they're literally anything and everything that you can think of that would be like a positive personality trait. Anything. They're proud, they're brave, they're caring, they're loving, they're giving, they're wise, they're whatever. I mean, anything that you can think of that would be positive, they are. What are the Skeksis? They are literally the exact opposite. They are everything that is bad as a personality trait. They're conniving, they're thieving, they're lying, they're gluttonous, they're whatever you can think of. Now, right off the bat, you would sit there and you would say, well, okay, fine. Maybe most of them are like that, but not all of them are like that. No, they all are. And there's a reason for it. And again, it gets summed up in the last 3 minutes of the film. But yeah, there is a reason for it. They are exactly that. They are the bad guys. There is no good about these guys. They're evil. The Mystics, they're just straight up good guys. The movie follows, the two main characters that it follows are Jen and Kira. And neither of them are Mystics or Skeksis. They are Gelflings. Gelflings are, well, they're little elves. That's what they are. They're tiny little elves. Jen was raised by the Mystics as a kid. Parents killed, something like that. And Kira, she was raised by yet another group, another race, called the Podlings. And the Podlings, in this Jim Henson film, are in fact the closest thing that you're going to get to Muppets. The rest of the outfits, because the main characters in this, aside from Jen and Kira, the Mystics, the Skeksis, the Garthim, they're part of the Skeksis group. They're people in suits, because these suits are big and they're really, really well done. This is not Sesame Street shit. This is for reals now. This is crazy good looking stuff. She was raised by the Podlings, and the Podlings, on the other hand, they definitely look like Muppets. And I will throw this in, that there is a scene in the movie where they show a baby Podling. Like a baby, a toddler, whatever. And I swear to you, it's a friggin' sock puppet. That's it. That's what it looks like. It looks like a damn sock puppet. Kira, she has a cute little companion with her. His name is Fizzgig, and he's essentially, if you know the old Star Trek series, the episode with the Tribbles, he's essentially a Tribble, but he's got a face and a ginormous mouth full of teeth. Yes, but he's a good guy. It's a great movie. You really should see it if you haven't. Moving on. Okay, this one is not from the 80s, nor is it from the 90s. This one, most of the films that I've talked about so far have been. This is actually the most recent film to come out of on my entire list here. This is from 2012. It is a horror movie called The Cabin in the Woods. I love The Cabin in the Woods. Why do I love it so much? I love it because the writing is really, really intelligent. It really is. This is done by Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon. Okay, there you go. So the man behind Firefly and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show, and Angel, the series, and then also behind the Avengers, Age of Ultron. Yes, that guy. So yeah, he's got a hell of a fan base, doesn't he? This is a horror movie, and it's almost like it makes fun of the typical horror movie genre. It kind of does that. There is a part in the movie where one of the actors, and by the way, it's Chris Hemsworth. Thor is in this damn movie. Thor, yes. He is under some kind of mind in altering gas or something like that. And he says to the rest of the kids that are in the cabin in the woods, he says, you know what, maybe we should split up. And the funny thing is that one of the other guys jumps right on that and is like, what? No, you don't split up. Don't split up. That's the bad idea. Don't do that. And I watched that and I was like, thank you for somebody stating what is painfully, blatantly obvious. If you are in a horror movie and you tell the whole group, okay, we got to split up, I guarantee you the black guy is going to die. I've watched horror movies. That's what happens. They split up and boom, whatever it is that's killing everybody just kind of, I don't know, maybe it gets some kind of racist thoughts in its head or something, but it basically says, you know what, let's get rid of the black guy. Then we'll get rid of all these the white kids. But let's go for the black guy first. That's what happens every time in the goddamn movies. So yeah, I like that, in this movie, you actually have a character pointing out, no, that is the dumb idea. You don't split up. Everybody stays together. Safety in numbers, that kind of thing, yeah. So I very much appreciate the movie. I love the writing. It's very, very funny. And the monsters in this are scary as shit. There are some scary ass monsters in this. Yeah. Really scary looking. Well, the ones that aren't CGI. The CGI shit is kind of whatever. But anyways, yeah, that is The Cabin in the Woods. That is the horror movie that I picked. Now, we're going to move on to, we're going to go back to the 80s. Back to good old 1985. This is for a mystery movie. And it's kind of dumb that I put it in that category because, honestly, this is really a comedy. But I've already done Blazing Saddles. So this one can actually squeak by because, oh, shut up, Chris. It's Clue. It's Clue. Okay? Those of you who haven't seen it, those of you who don't know, Clue is based off of the board game Clue. At some point in the early 80s, somebody said, you know what? Nobody's made a movie about Clue. Let's do that. Why? I don't know. But they fucking hit gold with this. They did a brilliant job. This movie is hilarious. It is really funny. As far as a mystery goes, not really, but it's not that mysterious of a mystery. But as far as the comedy goes, bam, this shit is right on the ball. Funny enough, they recently, in I guess it was 2012, they tried to do something similar with another board game, Battleship. Yeah. No. Rihanna is beautiful. She's gorgeous. I'm sure she's a wonderful girl, but there is only so much that she can do. And if you saw that movie, you know that Liam Neeson is in it for like maybe 2 minutes. That pissed me off. But let's go back to Clue, because Clue does not piss me off. So really quickly, I'm going to run through the cast list. Okay, the head protagonist of this film, the guy that's driving the story forward is, in fact, Tim Curry. He's back, and now he's Wadsworth the butler. And as far as the rest of the cast goes, you've got Michael McKean, who is Mr. Green, Martin Mull, who is Colonel Mustard, Madeline Kahn, Mrs. White, Leslie Ann Warren is Miss Scarlet, Eileen Brennan is Mrs. Peacock, and Christopher Lloyd is Professor Plum. Wow. Wow. That's a hell of a cast. That's a great cast. That's a friggin' hilarious cast. Like I said, this movie is just, it's painfully funny. I mean, you are going to laugh your ass off. I think that the first time that I saw this movie was probably, I'm guessing here, but I think it was probably in either 87 or 88. And so I was like, maybe 9 or 10. I was 9 or 10 years old at that time. And there was a line in the movie that made me laugh then. That still makes me laugh today. I absolutely love it. It is Tim Curry, Wadsworth, the butler. And yes, I know there is no butler in Clue, but shut up, there is in the movie. Shut up. He's first being introduced to Colonel Mustard, that is Martin Mull's character. And Colonel Mustard says to him, I'm going to paraphrase, but he goes up to him and he says something like, and who are you, sir? And Wadsworth says, I'm the butler, sir. Wadsworth. I'm Wadsworth, sir. The butler. And what is it you do? I buttle. Straight face, deadpan. He buttles. I don't know why, but that line has always made me laugh. I love that damn line. It's so silly and stupid, but it's funny. I love it. Anywho, this movie is fantastic, and you get 3 endings for the price of 1. Yeah, because it goes from the movie to the credits, and then right before it stops for the credits, it says, well, that was one way it could have gone, but how about this? And then it goes back a while, goes through again. Right before the credits roll, it says, wow, that was great, but here's the real ending, or something like that. And then it goes back again, it goes through again, and now it's each time. Excuse me. Woo. Burrito. Each time, it's a new ending, or it's new whodunit, and all that kind of shit. So, yeah. Really, really, really funny movie. Definitely worth seeing. You gotta see that. Clue. Find Clue. And last, and in no way whatsoever least, we're going to stay with the 80s, and this one just barely squeaks by in that category because this is 1980. Sci-fi film, Flash Gordon. Fuck yeah! I love Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon is awesome. I love this movie. This movie is fantastic. Why is it fantastic? Because it totally rips off Star Wars in every way whatsoever. Shut up. I already know what you're going to say. Now stop. This is for those of you who don't know. Star Wars A New Hope came out in 1977. Flash Gordon came out in 1980, as I said. And you look at the characters in Flash Gordon, and you're going to say to yourself, wow, they're just like the Star Wars characters. When you figure out who is supposed to be who, you're like, oh, God, yeah, he's just like the Star Wars characters. Flash Gordon rips off Star Wars A New Hope because Star Wars ripped off Flash Gordon. Yes, I knew that. I was way ahead of you. I already knew that. Yes, George Lucas himself admitted that one of his major influences when coming up with the whole Star Wars universe and all the characters and the species and all that shit, probably the biggest influence that he had was in fact Flash Gordon. And in fact, I heard that that the opening scroll of text that you see in every Star Wars film, the scroll of text that says what's going on and all that shit, that comes from Flash Gordon. Yeah, they did it first. So, yeah. Let's talk really quickly about the characters, who they are, and why are they Star Wars characters. Okay. Flash Gordon, he's played by Sam Jones, and Sam Jones kills it as Flash. He's awesome. He's Luke Skywalker. He is. Then you got his girlfriend, Dale Arden, who's played by Melody Anderson. She's Princess Leia. She really is. And also, you've got Ornella Muti, who plays Princess Aura. She's also Princess Leia. In this movie, you actually get 2 Princess Leias for the price of 1. Um, you've got Prince Baron, played by Timothy Dalton, Han Solo. Prince Voltan, played by Brian Blessed, Chewbacca. Dr. Hans Zarkov, played by Topol. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi. And as far as bad guys go, well, you got the Emperor Ming, played by Max von Sydow, who, by the way, was in The Force Awakens. Crazy. But the Emperor Ming, he's essentially Emperor Palpatine. And his right-hand man, the guy who does all of his shit for him, all the dirty work for him, who wears all black and has a very striking, scary mask on. And you know where I'm going with this. Played by Peter Weingard, he's Vader. The character is General Clytus. He's Darth Vader. That's who he is. Yeah. So this movie is fantastic. I love this movie. There's one thing about it that I can gripe about, and then there's another. Well, there's a whole laundry list of shit that I can go on that I love about it. But I will name the one thing that I think is pretty dumb, and that is it sums it up in like the first maybe 10 seconds of the movie. You're not even really seeing anything. I think it's like a black or a red screen, and you just hear Emperor Ming talking to General Clytus, and he says to him, "Oh, Clytus, what is that blue planet over there?" And Clytus says, "I believe they call that Earth, sir." And he says, "Well, I'm bored. Let's blow it up." That's it. That's why all this shit goes down, is because Emperor Ming is bored. He's an asshole, and he's bored. That's it. Now, as far as reasons go, it is, at the very least, a reason. It's a shit reason. But it is a reason, so I'll give him that, fine, whatever. But I kind of think they could have done a little better than that. Whatever, fine. One thing that definitely makes up for the whole reason that all this crap is going on is the soundtrack. Oh my God, does that make up for it? Wow. When of course, with the Star Wars trilogy, what they went for was a classic, a very classical style of music. It was all John Williams doing all that stuff. And, of course, very iconic music now. Well, even back then, the moment that you hear the Imperial March, you think of Darth Vader. That's just the way it is. But at that point, they were going for the classical music because I guess, Lucas decided, I think that a classical score will go with this. And you know what? Boom, he nailed that shit. But with this, with Flash Gordon, they kind of wanted to go the other way. So they went with much more contemporary rock. And 1980, hardcore, great fucking grab you by the balls and make you scream hard rock. You're talking Queen. Yes. Queen. That's awesome. Anytime you got Freddie Mercury belting shit out on the microphone, I'm sold. You've already got me. That's it. I don't care how crappy the movie could be. I'm in it. Now you got me. So yeah. So in this movie, you can see Sam Jones playing Flash Gordon. And by the way, he is such a fantastic Flash Gordon because, like, right from the get-go, you are rooting for him. You love this guy because his Flash Gordon, he has no ego. He has no... He's not petty in any way. He is the hero's hero. He stands up for the little guy. Hey, you're gonna cause problems with my planet. He at least tries to talk everybody out of it first before he beats the shit out of them. He's like, no, man, I'll give you a chance. Maybe if you want to rethink this over. No, you don't. Okay, it's Flash time, baby. You got him going around beating the crap out of bad guys with Freddie Mercury right behind him, screaming his lungs out, and Flash. Oh, that's the way it goes. Sorry, I can't do Freddie Mercury's voice justice. Nobody can. But you get what I'm going with. You see and hear that. Boom, you're in it, man. You're there. That's it. That's all you need. So, yeah. If you don't know about it, or if you've just never seen it, Please see this movie. This movie is fantastic. It is brilliant. And that actually, that wraps it all up. That's my 10th great movie you may not know about. And again, it's movies that you either, you've never heard of them, or maybe you've heard of them and you've never seen them. That's it. So I hope you guys really, I hope you appreciate this list. I hope you guys, if you haven't seen these movies, go see them, watch them, love them. You will, believe me. Yeah, and whenever you can, watch my video, like my video, send me a comment or a question, whatever. Hey, what did you think about this, Chris? Or why did you like that part of this movie? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But send them my way. Subscribe to my damn channel. I could use all the subscriptions I can get. And, yeah, man, that's it. So, thank you for tuning in. Love you all. Big kisses, mwah, big hug. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.